Major Jabole. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kanyingram. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing amazing. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Kanyingram and I make videos all about popular culture and anything that I think is relevant and that matters. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you. As you know, I have been doing a review of Real Housewives of Lagos, the entire series. I might do 2 at a go soon. I might start doing that, or we might switch up the format, but who knows? We'll see how it goes. And before we get into that, there are 2 things I want to recommend that are related to like Nollywood productions. One is Tainted Canvas. It's a show that I watch. It's very, very, very heavy, trigger warnings, but it's raw and realistic in a way. That's on Amazon Prime. Another one that I'd like to recommend is Blood Sisters. Nigerian productions are not playing. The levels are changing. The cinematography is just wow. So those are 2, and that one comes with a trigger warning, but those are the 2 shows that I would definitely recommend to get into if you can. Let's get into the Real Housewives of Lagos, what we're really here for. As the episode ended last week with the pajama party, which was a bit dry, Chioma picked up the pace by having a set of games, but before the games commence, Miriam walks in. Miriam is just straight in there. She's just herself. She's just being very boisterous. However, we have a few things that we have to note about Miriam's arrival. Number 1, not everyone was like hyped. Not everyone was like, oh, Miriam, oh, hi, who are you? You know, Nigerian babes now, they will survey who's coming in, like, who's she? But overall, people were friendly to her. They were like, hi, you know, cool, yeah, whatever. But it wasn't like overly, it wasn't a dramatic entrance, you know? And the one thing, she didn't like the way Caroline greeted her. She said Caroline greeted her like she was a peasant. She just did her hand like this. Later on in the episode, she did reference that, oh, she shook my hand like as if I have COVID. Why have COVID? But anyway, I didn't clock anything in terms of how Caroline greeted her. I thought everyone gave her a dry reception. Or was I just imagining it? I couldn't fault Caroline for how she greeted her. People will take the smallest thing, the smallest thing, and they'll make it a bigger thing in this show. That's what I'm clocking right now. Laura, in her confessional, she will never say this to anyone's face, but Laura has a lot to say in the confessionals. She says, oh, Miriam is coming in loud. I don't think the other girls are feeling her. So I was like, well, you know, first impressions, opinions. I don't know if they've met before, if they're friendly before, because they seem to get on well during the games. So the games that they played were musical chairs. Miriam won that because Chioma said, I let her win, you know, as a gracious host, I let her win. I said, okay. Then they played Truth or Dare, and I can't say that word. Dear. Okay, Truth or Dare, and then they played Never Have I Ever. I actually like Never Have I Ever. So when they were playing Never Have I Ever, again, Mariam just being herself. She was drinking the most. She's done the most outrageous, well, to me they're not outrageous, but she's done the most outrageous things. And, you know, Caroline's a bit more reserved. This is interesting. Caroline's normally the one that's like, woo, yeah, you know, really enjoys going with the flow, but she's a bit more reserved. She says she's not feeling well. Surprisingly, Laura is coming out of her shell more. This is going to sound like it's in my head, but it's not. There's a bit of touchy-feeling going on, especially with Miriam. Like, I don't know. There were some parts where it looked like they were smacking her butt, but then it looks a bit like they was too close to her private. I will insert a clip so you guys can see what I mean. If I can, I will insert a clip. But I don't play that. Don't touch certain parts of my body. Even if you're my friend and we're drunk and we're playing, keep your hands to yourself. Miriam didn't complain, so it wasn't like she complained and she didn't feel no one complained. That was just them joking, you know, smacking each other's butts, playing about, whatever. And when they're playing Truth or Dare, Toyin asks Caroline, oh, what happened in your marriage? Caroline says, you know, I don't want to talk about my ex anymore, and I respect that. I need to break something down. As far as Wikipedia is concerned, Caroline has been separated from her husband since 2016. Listen, 2016. That's a long ass time ago. In my opinion, anyway, if your separation is going for longer than a year, you might as well just get divorced. Unless you have assets and financial associations together that keeping you still together. Whatever. That's their life. she still calls him her husband, because as far as she's concerned, they're separated, but they're not divorced, and that's the father of her children. So she's not going to speak ill of him. And she says he looks after his children. He does what he needs to do for his children. And I hope she doesn't just mean, oh, he throws money at the kids and that's it. I hope she actually means he's fully present in his children's lives. I really commend and respect the fact that she's just saying, you know what, I'm not going to talk about my ex. I really don't blame her, especially after the previous week when we saw her, Caroline, literally break down and she said, you know, I never wanted to separate. I never wanted that. I felt like a failure when I separated. I felt horrible when it happened. Like, it's so obvious that it's a sore spot for her. So I don't know why Toyin brought it up. Also, Caroline, if you don't want to be telling the truth about your life, you can choose the other one, which is Dear, like do a Dear. But I could tell that she was in a low mood. She wasn't really the usual Caroline that we see where she's like, yes, you know. Even questions that Miriam was asking Laura, I think that was the first time that they'd met. Why did you get your chin and your nose done, whatever? And I was just thinking, if this is the first time we've met, I think there should be certain boundaries that we don't cross too much. If I know you and you're asking me in a game of truth or dare, like, oh, why did you do that to your chin or nose? And if we're cool like that, I'll be like, babes, Ikeja, number 45 Allen Avenue, Dr. Dayo, you know, something like that. But if I don't know you and it's the first time you're meeting me and you're saying, why did you do your chin and nose? I'm just thinking, Miriam, who? It's too much too soon. You can ask me other questions, but don't ask me questions again that are based off of things you've seen about me in the media. It's just, I don't know. You guys comment down below. Let me know. Is that a question you'd feel comfortable with someone that you don't know, you're just meeting them for the first time? Would you feel quite comfortable with them asking you such a question? Nigerians literally don't have any chill or boundaries, especially because it's in a game of truth or dare. Gen Z, it's up to us to start equipping these people with the idea of boundaries. And I've seen it in Nigeria firsthand. Like, you have someone who's got, you know, really bad acne, and then someone else will come up to them like, bro, what cream are you using? It's not working. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, oh my god, you don't say that. And I've actually said it, you don't say things like that. It's like, well, to them, they're like, if I don't ask, then how will they get better? For me, I see it as like, are you humiliating them? Are you trying to embarrass them purposely? Like, why would you do it in such a public way? So that's why this whole game of truth or dare, Miriam and all these questions that are flying, I'm not taking it personal because obviously it's a game, but at the same time, it's just the way Nigerians are. They have no filter. I remember when I first came to the UK, I had to start learning how to have a filter, because there's just certain things you just think and you just say aloud and you feel no way, but other people will actually feel a way. Miriam asked one of, I think, Chioma's friend, like, oh, why do people perceive you as a bitch? I'm like, why are you asking these questions? Number one, if people perceive, and this is life advice now, if people perceive you as a bitch or cold or this, that's their business, it's not yours. So my response to such a question would have been, well, that's their business. I don't know why they do. It has nothing to do with me. And then Toyin turned around and said, oh, well, if you say you're just chill when you're just yourself, maybe it's coming across as fake. You're being fake. And I was like, see, this is the thing. Just do you, because no matter what you do, if you're chill, you're fake. If you're assertive, you're a bitch. There's no way to suit people. There's no way to make people happy. So just be yourself. Just be your damn self. Next morning, Chioma and her box of chocolates and Ferrero Rochers. She's going around making sure everybody's okay. How did you find last night? And Chioma looks really cute. Minimal makeup we saw on her. She looks beautiful. Skipping around or being cute Chioma. And the first person she goes and sees is not Laura. The first person she goes and sees is Caroline. And she's asking Caroline, like, babe, like, how were you last night? You were really reserved. Like, what's up? What's popping? And Caroline just expressed, I didn't feel comfortable with the questions they were asking. I don't know you that well. I don't know why and you know, Chioma just said it's a game. Like, it is what it is. Like, even Chioma she had her own jabs, and she just took it as water off a duck's back. She didn't really think too much of it. So, but Caroline is upset. I think Caroline, in those scenes, it seemed like she's going through other things apart from the girls. I don't think she was really in Real Housewives mode. The next person Chioma goes and skips along and see is Laura. So I get so many names confused. Laura, yeah, that's who she goes and sees. You know, she says, I want to make sure she's comfortable. If she's on my trip, I want to make her comfortable. Can we note that? Let's keep this note. Chioma is making Laura feel comfortable. Despite everything that's happened, despite the fuck you, the this, she says, I want to make her feel comfortable. Are we deep in this? Okay, let's continue. So they're talking and, you know, they're just chopping up like, how did you find last night? And I was really surprised that Chioma is this mature and this graceful. Laura says, yeah, I've been having a good time, you know, even though we are friends. And I think the crux of the issue is that she's really in pain over this friendship thing. We are not friends, we are customers. She's really in deep pain. She's in deep pain. It's like they sent Cost to her village somewhere. She's in deep pain. It's paining now. It's like just slide jabs, but you come to learn that it goes further than slide jabs. It's like she's still holding resentment towards Chioma. So Chioma laughs it off, and, you know, Chioma's like, you know, I'll see you guys later. They go-karting. I love enjoying seeing black women enjoy their lives. So I enjoy seeing, you know, Tiana's daughter just be young and just go-kart and just do stuff like that. It makes me happy. It really does make me happy. It might seem small to you guys, but for me as well, it helps me see what to do in Abuja. If I ever go to Abuja, I have never been to the capital. Can you believe? I've never been to the capital of Nigeria. I've been in the former capital, but I've never been to the current capital. So I would like to go. So it helps me see, oh, I can do paintballing, I can do go-karting. It gives me good ideas of what to do if I ever am in Abuja. Speaking of Abuja, I got a bag from Abuja. It's Winston leather. If you guys ever want like good quality leather, they even supply brands like Louis Vuitton. They supply their leather. So if you ever want a good bag from an Abuja-based company, Winston Leather. To the topic, Tiana, aka Toyin, isn't actually there. Let's note this one down again. She didn't let Chioma know that she's not coming go-karting to the activity that Chioma has kindly planned for them. I know, let's note this one down. Let's remember this. Chioma was like, fine, she's brought her daughter as a representative. No big deal. Kini big deal. Chioma doesn't take anything. Chioma is not seeing any wahala. We have the dinner, and I don't know if Chioma gave everybody like a memo of how to dress for this dinner, but everyone looked really good. Most of them were wearing black and silver. Everyone looked good. Even Laura, I haven't ever spoken about Laura's fashion sense because she hasn't given me a reason to, but even Laura's outfit, she just looks stunning. Caroline and her friend come in looking like Alajas. They came in looking like Alaja. They just stepped fresh off the plane from Dubai, from Saudi. They didn't wear black and silver like everybody else. They looked colourful. Miriam came with Chioma's friend, and I was like, why are you coming with somebody else's friend? Are you boys now? I like when that happens, when a group of friends come together, they don't know each other, and they all mix in and matching. Like, I really like it because Chioma did say they can bring their plus ones, and it's clear that their plus ones are feeling very comfortable with each other. As soon as Caroline comes in with her friend Preciousilla, Toyin makes a comment, oh, the latecomers again. But I'm pretty sure that Toyin wasn't the first one to arrive. So what is this whole comment about latecomers when Toyin's not always the first person to arrive? Every time jabbing Caroline being late. Like, okay, Caroline, you might have a punctuality problem, baby, but Toyin, you also have a problem with always having to feel like you need to point it out or you need to jab her. I don't understand what is going on between Caroline and Toyin. What is the beef? What is the drama? So we need to really find out the problem between Toyin and Caroline. We need to find out as soon as possible because it's now affecting Caroline's relationship with other people, and I'll get onto that shortly. Chioma is like, you know, let's talk about our first impressions before we met and our impressions now. Toyin basically gives a love letter to Laura saying, you know, I thought you were this before, but really you're a hard worker, you're this, don't let anyone stop you. And I thought that was a bit, are you basically signaling to anyone else that has an issue with Laura that, yeah, you're backing her? Is that what we're doing? Chioma gives Caroline her flowers, like, I think you're this, I think you're that. You know, just being expressive of how she feels about her. And then Caroline does the same for Chioma. And for some reason, when they're showing the love to each other, the other ladies have a problem with it. Specifically, Laura in her confession was like, oh, boring, like, why, like, go and get a room. But I'm thinking, someone just gave you your flowers. Why don't you want somebody else to express their flowers and publicly? Why is it okay for you? No one's telling you to get a room. Everyone is adoring this session and giving you adulation. But when it's somebody else, you have an issue. Then Miriam expresses to Caroline, which I really like this. I like the fact that she didn't hold it in and she didn't let it become something else. She said, I didn't like the way you held my hand when we first met, with the way you greeted me. And Caroline's just like, I don't think Caroline, like I said, I don't think Caroline was in their headspace. Even when she came in, I don't even think she was in her headspace. I mean, she was giving confidence. She was telling us, yeah, even though I'm not dressed in black, I think I look amazing. I stand out. But I still don't think Caroline was in their headspace. So yeah, Miriam expresses that, I thought Caroline, I thought you were a bitch. This is why I think Toyin is planting seed. Toyin is planting seeds, guys. Think about it. Where would Miriam have had an impression that Caroline was a bitch? If they've never met, if they're not friends, unless she's getting through the media, then okay, that's a problem. Why are you getting information about me through the media to then make assumptions about me? I think that it's from Toyin. Because Toyin keeps pointing out that Caroline's got a bitchy attitude. Even when they keep calling Caroline bitch, and it's grating on Caroline's nerves because she's like, chill, like stop calling, like use another word. And even when Miriam said, oh, Caroline's a bitch, Toyin chimed in and said, yeah, she's got a bitchy attitude. There is something wrong. And I think it's coming from Toyin, who is then feeding into Miriam, and then it's giving Miriam a perception of Caroline, which isn't so true. Or is there another piece of drama that is happening that I am not privy to? Please comment down below and let me know. Let me have a drone shot, and I think the producers or the editors need to give us more drone shots of like Abuja and all the different cities that they go to. We have a drone shot of like Mariam swimming at the Abuja hotel, and I think that's really nice. It was nice. It was a nice touch, and I think production wise, keep things like that up. Yeah, keep doing things like that. Well done, production team. Miriam and Laura are getting to know each other after Miriam's had the swim. Miriam saying things like, I didn't really get to know you, so it's good to get to know you. So they're talking about others and perceptions of others. When girls do this fake thing where it's like, well, this is my opinion of someone, but I'm going to leave you to go and form your own opinion. Well, if you've already poisoned the water, then you can't really say then go ahead and drink it. I think if you're gonna be neutral, be committed to being neutral. Don't say, oh, me and this person had issue, or but we're cool now, or me and this person, oh, don't trust this person, don't think this person's your friend. If you really want to do neutrality, if you want to be Switzerland, then just say, oh yeah, oh, that's good. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it'll be good for you to get to know this person. Then I start to realize that Chioma doesn't realize that Laura is still holding a grudge against her because, she talks about how her and Chioma have had beef, but she wishes she said more. So then that means there's not really a clean slate. For Chioma, it's a clean slate. She's over it. But you wish you said more. So that means and then she said, I'm still waiting. So basically, you're my op. Basically, you're op. Long story short, Miriam and Laura have their little catch up, and at the end, Laura's like, oh, I think we're still gonna clash, me and you though. And I was like, why are you anticipating drama? What type of bad vibes are you carrying? If someone said that to me, I'll be very wary of them. 1 week later, so the production team fast forward to 1 week later, and I think that's because maybe there's not so much to film. Iyabo Ojo is back, and she's back with a difference. She's back with her new teeth, and her teeth look beautiful. It suits her face. You can see that she was already confident, but it's brought her confidence even more up. I hope it's not one of those ones where they shave her teeth down to like the absolute bare minimum to accommodate for these veneers. Or is it crowns? Are those crowns instead? I don't know what those ones are. I don't know the terminology, but she looks good, and I hope it's safe for her, and I hope it's not going to cause her any pain or any discomfort. She looks happy. She's smiling up and down like, yeah. In fact, I even clocked it in the previous episode, but I didn't say anything about it. So Iyabo Ojo, Laura, and Miriam are sitting down. Laura is telling them about this fashion show she's got coming up, and her fashion collaboration with her bestie that she's got coming up. And in my opinion, Laura is not if it was Toyin saying this, I'll be like, oh yeah, cool, Toyin's got a fashion show coming up. But it's not something I would expect from Laura. So, but it's something that she's doing. So she's even asked them to be a part of her runway. And she says, you're my friends now, you're not my customers. And I'm like, baby girl, we're now on episode 5. Move on. For the love of God. Let it go. Like, seriously, let it go. Stop talking about this customer thing. Like, why is it still hurting you? Like, she's let you in her private jet. She's brought you to Abuja. She's made you feel comfortable. Okay, can you not see this as a new leaf for you and her to now be friends? Are you still going to be banging on about... She can really hold a grudge. Form a new friendship with her. If that's what you really, truly want, if that rejection is still hurting you, form a new friendship. She's extended the olive branch by having you come to Abuja. Let the old idea of what you thought Chioma was and your friendship was with her, let that die. Let this be new. Let it be a new foundation. I can't for another week hear about this customer thing. I've had enough. I've truly had enough. I don't care about it anymore. She was inviting Miriam and Iyabo just to be part of her runway and her fashion show. I was thinking, Chioma would have killed it. If you really let your ego sit down to one side, Chioma would have killed that runway in your fashion collection. I need to go and see this fashion collection if it's really giving what it needs to give. But Chioma would have done you justice, baby. So because Caroline and Chioma didn't show up, Laura's upset. But remember, when Toyin didn't show up to the activity in Abuja, Chioma didn't get upset. She just said, oh, it's cool. I find it a bit weird, but it's okay. So why is it that the grace that they give each other, they won't give the Chioma and Caroline? This is why I think, because Caroline is so involved, there's something going on, especially with Toyin, that's poisoning the whole water. Because again, Toyin makes a comment that, oh, maybe Chioma didn't show up because she's follow. She's following Chioma, but where is this energy coming from? No, seriously, where is the energy coming from? Iyabo Ojo rightfully says, like, what is the issue? I wasn't there. And again, this is the thing. I really hope Laura doesn't backtrack again. Laura is saying things like, oh, I don't really think the beef is all clear with Chioma. But, you know, I'm feeling happier now. They're not even here. When the first time you said something about these ladies to Iyabo, she told them and you said, oh, why didn't you filter it? Don't backtrack on this one. That's what I'm going to say. Iyabo Ojo is like confused, like what's happening? If anything, who should Laura really be upset with? Isn't it Iyabo Ojo? Okay, but she's still cool with her. Is it out of fear? Iyabo Ojo calls Chioma. Chioma tells us that it's her auntie's 60th birthday in Abuja, so she's not in Lagos here. So Iyabo Ojo, this is even funny, she wasn't serious. Iyabo Ojo says to Chioma over the phone, like, oh, will you still make it if you arrive back in time? I was thinking, I'm so sorry. I am not arriving back from any city to another city by air to come to Radisson Blue, Lagos, even if it was not a shady person that I was going to meet. I am so sorry. I am not going to I'm not stopping over from any airport. I'm going straight to my house. I'm going to sleep. I'm going home. I'm not coming to Radisson Blue just to talk about Laura's fashion show, and she doesn't even want me there. So the episode ends with Laura saying, oh, she doesn't want Chioma and Caroline to come. But Chioma and Caroline haven't objectively done anything wrong to her. We haven't intimidation. Does she feel intimidated by who they are? Because she was mentioning, oh, you know, these Lagos girls, they like to check you out. They like to look at your shoes, what you're wearing, blah, blah. Is it intimidation? Is that what it is? Because these girls I haven't seen anything. So unless the producers or editors are not showing us everything, where is this animosity coming from? And my bet is it's coming from Toyin. One, Mariam is feeling some way towards Caroline. Then we have Chioma feeling some way. And then we have Laura feeling some way towards Caroline and Chioma. So I think the common denominator or the link comes back to Toyin. There's something going on with Toyin and Caroline that is now seeping into all the other relationships. I'd like to see next week how Chioma kind of speaks about this and how Caroline speaks about this. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this just session. Please make sure you subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.